Hello, Nomads, and welcome to episode 26 of the Nomads of Fantasy Podcast. My name is Brandon, I am your host, and it feels weird because I was off. I was gone last week, and Eric took over, and Eric, you did a good job. You did a really good job with our friends from the Best of the Rest podcast, so if you haven't heard that episode, you should check it out. Yeah, I like to give props when props are due. But I also want to give you props because we have a special guest today. But real quick, I'm talking to Eric. Eric, what's going on?
Welcome to the family, son.
I like it.
It's a good line from Resident Evil 7.
What about you, Dave? What's going on?
You thought you could just slip out from dinner before it was done?
Okay, I like that one.
Nope. Yeah.
All right, not bad. One. Yeah,
Jack Baker.
You didn't want to go with Ethan. But yeah, and we have a special guest, Mike, from GamesMyMomFound Podcast. And did I get that right? So our new friend here.
Yep, GamesMyMomFound.
Yeah. But if you want to say hello, welcome to the show.
All right, well, thanks for having me on. I got nothing from the game. I haven't played it in a while.
I don't remember that being. I was gonna say I don't remember that being in the game.
No, I got nothing. I didn't want to play it.
Real quick, Mike, what is your podcast about? I mean, I have an idea, but if you want to just indulge us with the description.
No problem at all. It's mostly a retro video game podcast where each week we do a regular episode. We go through a different game. We'll go through it from top to bottom, talk about all the different aspects of the game. And it's kind of like a game club, but then we also do 2 to 3 more or 1 to 2 other episodes every week, which can be a movie, can be a comic book review, it can be an interview, just kind of, and be a whole season review sometimes. Just kind of depends on whatever we decide to do, or I do, I should say.
It's a lot of content right there. It's a lot of media.
Oh god, all I do is edit, record. That's all I do.
Consume media.
Yeah, everything is for the podcast almost.
Well, it gives you a good reason to play stuff or watch stuff that you don't usually get into. That's what I found. But
yes. Made me play a lot of games that I never would have wanted to play otherwise. Mm-hmm. So
cool.
Mm-hmm. That too, just crossing stuff off your backlog too is always good.
I just got done playing Silent Hill 3 for the first time this last week, so to make an episode about it.
And how was that?
It's still a good game. It still holds up. Still scared the hell out of me a few times, even with a guide. Well, there's one part where you knock on a door, and all of a sudden the door knocks back. So,
well, that'll get you.
I wasn't expecting that.
I'm trying to remember, 3 was different than the first 2.
Yeah, 3 is you play as a daughter of Harry Mason from the first game, who is not normal, we're just going to say, without spoiling much. She's not in Silent Hill for the first part of the game, but everything still is happening to her because of reasons. So. But yeah, it's pretty freaky game.
I like that you brought up Silent Hill 3 because, kind of, sort of, there's a creepy girl in another series that's pretty similar called Resident Evil, or what is it? Biohazard, I think.
Biohazard in Japan.
In Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's a Resident Evil 7, which I'm just going to say is probably the scariest piece of media ever created by human beings, to the point where I'm just going to say it right now. I could not play this game. I had to watch people play this game. So I watched Dave. I watched some random guy upload it on YouTube, and I watched 5.5 hours of him play this game. And it was scary just watching. I couldn't play it. But Resident Evil 7, man. And when did this game come out? Like
2017.
2017?
Mm-hmm.
And here we are. Right around Halloween, it's just a couple days. We're recording just a couple days before Halloween, and we're really in the spirit. So, I mean, man, this is the right time to be playing this game. Good luck.
So you're telling me you didn't want to play this in VR?
Oh my god!
So Eric actually checked out this game in VR.
Oh god!
I did try it, but we can save that.
Okay.
We can save that for the main discussion.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Before we get too far, as exciting as it is, not really for me. Let's catch up on some things that we've been up to between the last recording. So, I'll just go with you, Eric. What have you been doing since last time we talked?
Yeah, I haven't been doing a ton. I have pretty much just one main thing to talk about, and that is a little game called Grindstone. So this is, I don't know if you guys have heard of this one, but It came out, it released when, I think it was around the time when Apple Arcade first released. So I don't know, I feel like everyone, whenever Apple Arcade first released, everyone did the thing where they got their free 1 month trial, checked out a bunch of stuff, and then kind of just let it expire and not renew their subscription. So my wife actually got a new iPhone, and it came with a year free of Apple Arcade. So I wanted to check out some games that were on there. And I know Grindstone was one of those games that like everybody was playing when Apple Arcade first came out. Like everybody was obsessed with it. I heard people on podcasts talking about it like crazy. And I never actually checked it out. So this time around I downloaded it and I'm like obsessed with it. Like I haven't been this obsessed with a mobile game in a long ass time.
How would you categorize it? What is it? Is it a card game?
It's a puzzle game. It's a puzzle game. It's kind of like one of those match 3 puzzle games. Like, I don't know, like you could equate it to something like Candy Crush, but it's like Candy Crush mixed with like an RPG. So you get like upgrades for like your weapons, and you can get like potions, shields, all this type of stuff. And like just the loop of it is just really, really fun. Like, so the more you chain together, you're basically trying to chain together different color enemies. So you can build a chain of the same color enemies, and then there's certain things where you can like swap colors. And so your goal is basically just to build up the largest chain that you can. And for each time you build up like a 10 chain, you get what they call a grindstone. And after you kill all those enemies, the grindstone pops out, and that allows you to like swap colors of enemies. So say you're in like a chain of blue enemies and you hit a grindstone, you can now chain like green enemies together. It's like a super simple concept, but the way it builds onto itself, like it gets more complicated as the levels go on, and it gets pretty tough. But I don't know, I'm just super obsessed with it right now, and it's really fun. And I feel like Apple Arcade is a little bit underrated, flies under the radar a little bit, but there's some really, really good games on there. And it's $5 a month. And like all the games are ad free. It's all the good things about mobile games without all of like the bad like timers and ads and all that crap. So
the microtransactions are the
Would
killer.
you say it's like would you say it's like Game Pass for phones kind of deal?
I was just thinking
adding games.
Yeah, so they have some third-party games. Like they have some ports of like console games that come on there. Like Monster Hunter Stories 2 just got ported to Apple Arcade. And there's also some originals that you can only get on Apple Arcade. I think Grindstone started out that way, but now it's on like PC and Switch. I could be wrong about that. But
Windows, Mac, Switch, and iOS.
Yeah.
No Android, no Xbox, which kills me.
It's like the perfect phone game. It's definitely made for a touchscreen, because you're basically just swiping up and down, making these chains of enemies. I think it'd be weird it might be all right using a mouse, but it's like the perfect phone game. Like I'll pick it up and just play a level, like, I don't know, when I'm taking a shit or something. It's the perfect game for that.
Go on.
No, please do.
People have always wondered how and you play your games and where.
It definitely makes my shits take longer than they normally do, because I'm just sitting there doing these levels.
That's Tetris for me. Everybody can relate to that. I know it's probably like people don't talk about that, but bullshit. What do you think Candy Crush is so popular? What do you think people are doing? They're laying in bed, they're laying on the couch, and they're taking a dump.
Exactly.
Let's be honest.
Dude, I stayed up till like 1 a.m. playing this game in bed one night. Like I'm that obsessed with it, you know? But yeah, I recommend it.
Apple Arcade's no joke. I liked it.
Yeah, like I've been checking out a bunch of stuff on there. There's like, I don't know, there's this simple Sudoku game that I picked up and was playing. Like there's just so many things to choose from on there. Like when I'm looking to play a game, I don't normally reach for my phone as my first thought.
Just on the toilet, apparently.
Exactly. On the toilet, it's right there, I just got it right in my hand, so I'm already on it. But yeah, I like every chance I get, I'm trying to just squeeze a level in there somewhere. So
note to self: don't ever touch Eric's phone.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's probably a good idea.
I'll stop with the jokes.
It's true. Hey, man.
Hey, he walked into it.
So yeah, Apple Arcade. Honestly, I recommend it. It's $5 a month, and like I said, I got a free trial for a year, so I'm gonna download a bunch. There's even a new Symphony of the Night game that just released on there.
Ooh.
I haven't checked it out yet.
It's not
The port?
It's some
I downloaded
Castlevania game though.
It's a port. Yeah.
Oh, it's actually
Or
a
not
port?
Symphony of the Night. It's a not a port. Sorry, it's a Castlevania game, but it's akin to Symphony of the Night.
It's a gotcha game, right? What are you talking about?
I know it's more. It's definitely like a side scroller, like actiony. It doesn't have as many RPG elements. It might be a gotcha game. Like I said, I haven't checked it out, but I just thought it was really cool that they released a full-fledged Castlevania game on your phone. I think it is a port of a game that was on like the Google Play Store or something. So it's not like original to Apple Arcade, but it's pretty cool. They're always releasing stuff on there, and it's always like super high quality stuff. Like you said, I think Game Pass is a good comparison, like when it comes to Apple Arcade and mobile games. So
I'm looking up that Castlevania game right now.
I dig
because you got my attention.
Well, Mike, we talked about Castlevania earlier to kind of kick off the Halloween spirit on the show. We watched the anime. We've been playing the games in
My
the background.
condolences on the anime.
I'd have to imagine that you've played the games just for your show in general, right?
A couple. We did Area of Sorrow, and we did Bloodlines with the Genesis one that is very underrated. It's a very good game. I feel like we did one more, and I can't think. And we did Symphony of the Night.
awesome.
Okay, was Bloodlines the fifth one? Or which one's that?
It might be. It doesn't have a number, but it's the one that came out for Genesis, so it would have been probably right after Super Castlevania 4.
I didn't mind it.
I think I picked the wrong guy
Good
when I
damn
played
game.
that one.
With the cowboy.
It has John Morris, which I guess which kind of looks like a cowboy, and it also has Eric Lecard. But it's it's like the same older style of them, not the ones that I it's not the Igrashi style, which I like more. So it's just more of a Castlevania, not a Metrovania, but still very good game. Highly recommend that one for Genesis, which is on the Anniversary Collection on Steam and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I would recommend people to check out our Castlevania anime show if you want to hear about the show. But if you want to get some actual conversation about the games, definitely check out Mike's show, which is called
Games My Mom Found.
Good plug.
Yep. All right. Well, Eric, what else have you been jamming out on?
That was really it. I've been jamming out on Resident Evil 7. Other than that, but we'll save that.
Is that jamming or
I was
crying?
gonna say it's not really a jam out kind of game.
There was a lot of emotions going on throughout the entire game. So.
Usually not good with that game. It's a good game, but whew.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to get through. But yeah, that was all I had. What about you, Dave?
I've been playing a lot of Resident Evil 7, by the way. Oh, imagine that.
No way.
No, after playing that game is so intense that I had to take I'll put in a couple hours a night and I had to take a little decompression break to kind of get my mind back into a normal place where I don't think I'm going to get murdered walking around a corner or something like that. So, I don't want to get too into these ones because I only played a little bit of them, but I started Dragon Ball Z Fighters that got added to Game
man.
Pass.
I love me some Dragon Ball Z.
That one, I haven't seen much to any of Dragon Ball Z, but it was almost too anime for me. So, but it was a good,
There's a lot.
It was a good change up to kind of get my mind out of the murder house. Yeah, but that one seemed pretty cool where the fighting seemed to get it got pretty intense. So I may jump back into that one. And then there was one called Arrow. Aeero. I don't know how we pronounce that, but it's a rhythm game, I guess technically, where you're kind of just following down a track, kind of your standard Guitar Hero track or whatever, going down a set path, and you're kind of just moving the left trigger to kind of match the lines that are going around the outside so far, but you're matching up with melodies and people singing and stuff like that. So it wasn't too deep, but it was a nice quick little, what's the word? Taste breaker or whatever you want to call it. Palate cleanser. That's what you're looking for. That's what I'm looking for. I like taste breaker though. That sounds pretty good too.
It's a new one.
And After that, nothing really this week. Resident Evil 7. We've been watching Halloween stuff with the kids. Caught the Muppet Haunted Mansion that got added to Disney Plus. That was, it's a nice little side trip, Muppet centric Halloween-y stuff. It was a lot of Gonzo and Pepe, I forget what he is, the king crab or the crustacean guy, whatever. And not a lot of Kermit and Miss Piggy, which was kind of nice. So it was a change up. It was a nice little palate cleanser, taste breaker, whatever you want to call it.
I like taste breaker. Should make that a thing.
I got this flavor in my mouth and I need to break it into something else. So I don't know. But no, that was really it for me. Just stuff to get the horror out of my mind after a gaming session with Resident Evil. So that's it for me. How about Mike?
I've been playing
How about you?
A few games, mostly all for the
nice,
wonderful Spooktober. I just got done playing Silent Hill 3. I played Onimusha finally for PS2.
I like that game.
Ooh,
it still holds up. It's still good.
Yeah,
surprisingly, and it's nice and short.
The remake that came out, or was it the original?
I bought the remake, but I played the PS2 version with save states.
Oh, okay, nice. That makes things a lot easier.
But I made sure to buy it, just support it, and then I went and cheated. So, but it's still good.
Save states for a lot of those old games that are meant to punish you. Those save states are like, I found those to be a godsend when playing like the old Castlevanias or stuff like that, where rely on like pattern recognition and stuff like that.
Oh, the only way I'd get through a game a week is with save states. I cheat on everything I can. So
no shame there at all.
No, I have no issue with that. I played Dead Space 2, which is still really freaking good.
Those games are great.
I gotta play that. I played the original Dead Space, I think the beginning of this year, like for the first time. So I really want to go through all of them there. I mean, I've heard 2 is like the best of the series, so I'm excited to jump into that.
One's still my favorite, but 2 is a very good action horror game, and 3 is not bad. People complain about it, but it's a good game still. I played The Walking Dead, the Telltale game, the first season. That game fucked me up. I played it before, but it's been a while, and it's pretty fucked up.
You gotta make some tough choices in there.
Yeah, it messes with me a lot.
Yeah. Same thing here.
And the two other things I want to mention is, one, I watched a movie, which you guys can all watch on YouTube if you want a horror movie from the 80s, Reanimator. It's free on YouTube. It's awful.
Never heard of that one.
People like it, but it's god-awful. I hated it. I don't like horror movies. So that's part of it. I mean, it's an 80s cheese horror film.
Okay.
With a few unnecessary scenes, we'll just say. But yeah, if you like horror movies, I say check it out. And then last thing, which is more common, I'm sure maybe you guys have, is I watched Squid Game on Netflix, like everybody else.
How'd you like it?
It's tough. I finished it, but it's freaking tough to watch.
Subtitles or dubs?
Dubbed.
Like tough, as in just like heavy, like subject matter wise, or like okay.
It's a very good show. It's just that you got to watch a lot of people get killed.
Yeah. I still have to dip into that one. Like I haven't fully immersed myself in it yet.
You got to be okay with a lot of death.
Yeah, I feel like you got to be in the right mindset to watch something like that. It seems really, really heavy.
It is.
But I mean, a lot of that stuff depends on how they handle it too. Like you could have a kids movie like Hunger Games where like people like you're making children fight and murder each other. Like
they handle it well. It's all people that they choose to be there in order to win money because they're all in terrible debt, but at the same time they're preying on people because they're finding people who are in a lot of debt and be like, hey, come play this game. And they don't really, like, oh, you're eliminated, but eliminated means you get shot in the head. Like they don't figure that out when they do it. It don't go very well when they first figure out.
Wow.
Red Light, Green Light's the first game that you probably saw in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I think Netflix shows it in the trailer.
Yeah. Mike, did you watch Alice in Borderland?
Not yet, but I heard people recommend it because of Squid Game.
I saw that. So me watching Squid Game is like that all over again. The difference is, like you said, they choose to be there at one point. Where in Alice in Borderland, they never choose to be there.
Oh, they just got dragged into it? In a way?
Yeah, unknowingly. Yeah, it's kind of more bizarre. Honestly, it's more mystery. So you would like that one if you enjoyed the show enough to watch Squid Game, then you could enjoy that show enough to watch that one because it's similar subject matter.
I'm gonna check it out. I've heard good things about it too from other people.
Yeah. Anything else you've been checking out?
I've been rewatching Star Trek Deep Space Nine a whole bunch for some reason.
It's a good one.
I love
Still
how
holds
people
up.
always have. Yeah, Star
It's
Trek's
the best
always
one.
Better than TNG. I was always a Next Generation guy.
Yes,
same. Yeah.
Next Generation is great, but it's better.
Okay.
Oh, something.
I think it's better.
Oh, there you heard it here, folks. If you have you talked about it on your podcast?
No, a little bit on my What Are You Playing episodes I do once a month, but that's it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's a Star Trek. Well, actually, I watched like the first couple episodes of the original series, and I just couldn't get through it.
Don't do that.
For someone like me, where do you recommend I start? Because like I've always been interested in Star Trek, but I've never
Enterprise.
Okay.
It came out in the early 2000s or mid 2000s. It only went for 4 seasons. In chronologically it's the first show, but it's a good starting point.
Okay. I'm weird because I would have said just find like the last, I don't know, maybe something in the middle of the old school show, just so you can see where it all started. Just watch something in the middle.
So bad.
It's like, I know, but and then he can go and watch Star Trek the movie, the second one.
Why not the first one?
The Wrath of Khan. Oh well, the first one's unwatchable.
The first one was so bad. You can watch the movie.
The first one was so bad.
So boring. It's so bad. Honestly, the jump from 1 to 2 is monumental. It's crazy how good the second one is compared to the first one. So, I always like that movie. The Wrath of Khan is kind of famous, Khan and all that stuff. But it's a good story. I enjoy the movies. But yeah, you can always go the TV show route. Next Generation, Deep Space Nine was huge when I was in college, or just
Next Generation
college.
Starts out really weird,
and then after that, I kind of lost track.
It's a little tough.
Soap opera.
Yeah, pre-beer. I always picture my Next Generation always goes from pre-beard Riker to post-beard Riker, and once he gets the beard, that's when things start to get better. When he pre-beard, things are a little cheesy. It's those middle chunk of the Next Generation that's really good. I always love those.
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine, though, I mean, you're kind of going off of that. That one's got a couple characters from Next Generation that pop in and out.
Okay.
Yeah, you have one who starts off from the show, and then you get a few others.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
There's always a good jumping in spot on Star Trek.
Yeah.
You gotta get the other side of the Star Wars
Star
coin.
Trek and Star Wars, yeah.
Balance each other out. Space fantasy and space reality. It's kind of, how it goes.
I think Star Trek has way more content than Star Wars. I think at this point, I could be wrong based with the books, but I know the TV shows have been going on for a long time. So you're in for a treat if you really like Star Trek. You have a lot of content waiting for you.
That's always intimidating to me because it's like I was talking about it last week with like comic books. I never got into comic books because there's just so many to fucking choose from. I don't know where to start. So it's something like that.
Yep. You just pick stories people recommend.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And just kind of start.
And Chris Logan actually sent me some suggestions, some recommendations my way for some comic books to start with. So I will check those out.
There you go.
Chris, if you're listening, I didn't have time to do it this week, but I will. I promise I'll talk about something next week.
Yeah, just finding characters you like and then reading, look up their best stories and start with some of those.
Okay, that's cool. Okay. Well, I'll go real quick. I don't want to be a buzzkill because I know we're talking about Resident Evil 7 and we're recording this in Halloween and you guys have been talking about Silent Hill and shit. So I went to Disney World with my family and I don't know.
The happiest place on earth.
Yeah, I saw the exact opposite of Resident Evil 7. So, but I will say this. That Star Wars stuff is no joke, dude. Oh my God. I mean, I was sending these guys some photos and stuff like that, but to be there, to hear it, to experience it is
please tell me
incredible.
Please tell me you built a lightsaber.
No, I wanted to. But I don't want my kids to break it and
aren't those expensive as hell too?
Step one.
Yeah. So I went there with my 2 little kids, and I just didn't want to. No, they're 2 little boys, man, 3 and 7. They just smack.
Oh, they would be smacking each other with that all the time.
Yeah, I don't need to blow a couple $100 just to see it broken in a week. So maybe they're more durable than I probably give them credit for. But anyways, no, dude. But literally walked on the Millennium Falcon. You go in there, you sit in the area where Luke was training with Obi-Wan Kenobi in A New Hope, and you can sit there and sit right where Chewbacca was with C-3PO. It was amazing. The rides are fun. Everything about it is, if you're a Star Wars fan and you've got the money and the time and you can get there, I recommend it. It is just,
Did they
awesome.
Fully model out that ship? Is it like you can just like walk around and go look in the engine room, or you can go look in the bunk room and see where?
Kind of, sort of. It's dedicated.
Probably
they make sure you hit the key spots. But you do go and sit in the cockpit, and all the windows are these 3D cameras, and you can move with the. I don't want to give anything away, honestly.
It's ridiculous.
If you really want to see, go watch the YouTube videos or something like that. But yeah, it's
Someday.
insane. So, but that's it.
Someday I'll get there.
Yeah, but I don't want to take away from the creepiness of this episode and talk about friggin' Star Wars and Disney and all that stuff. But it was awesome. So, but I'm back. That's what I did. I have nothing really to catch up on. The Dune movie came out. I really want to catch up. I want to see that. That looks really awesome. And I did watch the first 2 episodes of Squid Game, so I am into that. I just had to go on vacation, so that's about it for me. So, all right, let's just get this out of the way. Let's go into the scariest thing ever made. I'm kind of still got the shakes from watching somebody playing earlier today, but yeah. So let's just take a break. I'm going to gather myself, and then we'll get into this when we get back. We're back, and I did have technical difficulties between recording this part here. No, we're good. Everything's good. We're all good. How are you? Star Wars reference.
I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
All right, yeah.
It's a madhouse here.
Okay, I'm delaying the inevitable here. We're going to be talking about the scariest shit ever created, Resident Evil 7. But before we do, Eric, what happened on the socials? Did you let anybody know they were playing this game?
I did. So on Twitter, I put out a little call just to get people's thoughts on Resident Evil 7 as a whole, all that stuff. So you can follow us at Nomads of Fantasy on Twitter and Instagram. I actually just got a new Facebook page up and running, so you can follow us on there as well. You can actually listen to the podcast directly through that Facebook page, which I didn't know was a thing until yesterday. So I set that up. It's pretty cool. You just hook up your RSS feed and you can listen to the podcast right on Facebook. So so that is up there as well. You can also email us at nomadsoffantasy@gmail.com. But we got a couple responses on Twitter, just 2 this week. One from our good buddy, as always, Jake Iveson. He says he didn't play the game, but he has a PSVR. He downloaded the kitchen demo for the VR and got a buddy of his to put the headset on for it.
I've never seen him trick your buddy into it,
right? Just like, hey, put this on.
Hey, why don't you try this out for a second? Put on these headphones. Let me know what happens.
Check this cool game out. He said I have never seen him so freaked out. I would never try it myself, but definitely got to laugh at his expense.
Oh, that's a good friend right there.
He never talked to you again.
Exactly. No. And Ryan Wilson, I don't think this is related to you, Brandon. It's kind of funny. He says, this is an anxiety-inducing game for sure.
Is that my son? My 3-year-old son?
This is your son, Ryan. Yes. He said, this is an anxiety-inducing game for sure. The lady in the wheelchair. Fuck. So, that's a good one.
Nana. I named her Nana as I played through.
Yep, she always shows up when you least expect it, just chilling in a hallway or in a bedroom, just rolling her head around.
It's creepy.
So that's always creepy as hell.
Creepy.
It's a pretty fucked up game.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, that was all I had for social. So
Oh, that's it? Okay.
Yeah, that was short one this week. Gives us some more time to get right into it.
I didn't replay it for this episode. I wanted to, but I didn't want to actually play the game again, so it was a no.
Why is that?
Because I beat this game 3 years ago before I started the podcast, and I've been meaning to. I am going to replay it. I was supposed to play it this Halloween on my show, but the person that wanted me to do it wasn't able to make it yet, so I'm putting it off. But the game is fucking terrifying.
It really is
scary as hell.
I mean, I use a guide every step of the way. Okay, go open this door, but it's so stressful. It's not the most stressful horror game I played and beat, but it's up there.
What would you say would be?
Alien Isolation. Play that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Dude, I
love
tried
that
playing that shit
Good game.
last night. I tried playing that game last night, and it was so scary, and it's so beautiful walking around that shit. But
did you get to the Working Joes yet?
Ah.
If you didn't get to the Working Joes, and you didn't get to...
I've only played...
Pure horror.
Okay, no, I haven't put enough time into it to know that.
You're not supposed to be here anymore. You're not supposed to be here. I just start running.
You're making me want to replay that game. It's so good.
I can't.
I mean, we're not talking about Alien Isolation right now, but seriously though, that game is just incredible. Like that is the perfect adaptation of like the original Alien movie, and gives you that feeling of like you have the one single alien just stalking around the ship, and like you're just hiding out from it. You're powerless against it. And that's kind of the same mechanics that we have in Resident Evil.
Half of RE7.
For half of it.
A good half. I mean, RE7 is a great game. I just couldn't get myself to
good
do it.
half.
I mean, from what I remember, I love the game. I even played the DLC. I bought the not collectors, but I bought the complete version with everything. But I couldn't. I didn't have time to replay it this year.
I don't blame you for not.
I watched videos.
That's probably a good way to do it. I played this game probably, I don't know, a year after it initially came out. So I beat it back then, and I replayed it again for the show. And I played it on like just normal difficulty the first time around, and it's pretty tough. This time I played it on easy just so I could get through it. And they give you like on easy mode, it's great on easy mode. Like they give you so much ammo, so many resources. Like you never run out of ammo. You have like a clip of like 50 pistol ammo or like 20 shotgun shells. So you're just blowing through enemies left and right, which makes it a little bit less scary, but it's still a pretty harrowing experience. I loved my replay of this one.
Spoiler, I played it on easy this time too, and it was still scary as shit. So you just don't have the scarcity to worry about, but all the same jump scares, all the same creepiness, all of that is still just everywhere. So there's playing it on easy, and I guess I cheated. I don't know if you call it cheating, but I had my wife play with me, and I gave her the phone with the walkthrough, so I didn't have to keep going down and checking the page, reading what's next. I just had her as my co-pilot, kind of just like walking me through the game. Like, all right, go down here, pick up this stuff, blah, 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 make your next move. So that helped ease the tension a bit, I would say. But there were still moments where we both jumped out of our seats and, I could feel goosebumps going up and down my arms.
In the words of the great ninja, you cheated yourself.
All right.
I know.
I have to make that joke every time.
Had to get through it.
Let's not put the cart before the horse here. Let's just give a quick overview here. So we're talking about Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, released in 2017, published and developed by Capcom. It's funny because we mentioned earlier that the Resident Evil series is called Biohazard in Japan. So Resident Evil 7 Biohazard in America is called Biohazard 7 Resident Evil in Japan, which was pretty cool that they put the subtitle as Resident Evil
That's kind of
in Japan, which was really funny. I was actually reading up on why they had to change the name from Resident Evil or from Biohazard to Resident Evil when they localized the first game. And basically Capcom said that it was like impossible to trademark the name Biohazard in the US because there was already 2 brands that were claiming it at the time. There was a DOS game at the time registered under a Biohazard name, DOS. And a heavy metal band called Biohazard.
Oh yes, yes.
So
it sounds like
it was really hard to
heavy metal band name,
right?
Yeah, it does.
So it was really hard for them to trademark Biohazard in the US. So they did like an internal poll and chose the name Resident Evil, and it's just a pun on the first game since it takes place inside of a mansion. But it's interesting that, yeah, Resident Evil, yeah, it's a cool name. I think it's a better name than Biohazard, personally.
Sounds cool.
Yeah,
it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's more unique.
So that was a fun little anecdote
Eric,
there.
If you want to, sum up the plot,
Sure,
if you can, roughly. What the hell happened? I mean, I kind of have an idea what happened because I had to go on YouTube to kind of explain what happened, but that's kind of surprised. That's a Japanese video game for you, right? Like they're more just the special effects and the gameplay rather than the storytelling. Unless I'm wrong, unless you guys think there's a beautiful story here, but the story is like whatever. It's more of the atmosphere.
No, it's honestly, it's a really simple story. You have Ethan Winters. You play as Ethan Winters. And your wife Mia goes off to I forgot what she tells him. It's like some babysitting job or something.
Sure.
Wife or girlfriend,
But obviously that was a lie. It was his wife, yeah. And she is presumed dead after she goes missing for 3 years. So Ethan decides to go and find her, and takes him to the swamps of Louisiana, to the Baker house, and basically his mission is just to find Mia, find out what happened to her, and then after that it kind of just gets into the main game.
Hilarity ensues.
Hilarity ensues. Yeah, I was trying not to say that because it is not hilarity. It is quite the opposite. But
Yes.
there's not a huge story here. It's a Resident Evil story. It's nothing to write home about. That's for sure. I definitely have thoughts on the ending. Which is probably the weakest part of the game. But it starts out extremely strong, for the first 2/3 of it. I want to hear go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say, because I don't want to downplay this, because I keep saying how I'm scared to even talk about this, and I think this is one of the scariest things that people have ever made. Now, this is just a broad statement. I'm just having fun with it, but seriously though, this game. And I've played scary games. I like horror movies. I like found footage movies. I don't mind the first person perspective, but you cannot increase the brightness on this game, no matter what. And I tried playing this game during the day, and you still can't see shit. You have to play it at night. And if you play it with headphones, the sound production's insane. But it's
awesome.
The engine that they made, the way they handled the visuals of this game sucks you in so much. Everything's moved slow. Everything is gross, and it's extremely dark. It's crazy because there's this vignette effect where if you're not looking straight ahead of you, it's like a really bad flashlight is on in a very dark house, and he's just walking through this old creepy ass house. And just walking in, go online and type Resident Evil 7 and go to a forum, go to Reddit or something, and look at what people are saying and how many people just say, I exited this game after walking into the first house. It is that scary. I've never watched a movie where I'm like, nope, I'm done. I can just kind of look away. I can kind of whatever. But this game, you can't look away. You're playing. You have to move. You have to go through that kitchen. You have to go down that hallway. And it's just, I don't know, man. I've played scary games before, and nothing got me like this.
Brandon, you mentioned the engine. So they specifically created the RE engine for this game. And a common misconception, RE engine does not stand for Resident Evil engine. It stands for Reach for the Moon engine. Fun fact.
Oh, okay. Much different.
Yes. Which is dumb.
Yes, it is.
Whatever. I digress. But they couldn't use the engine that they previously used for Resident Evil games to make something like this. So they had to create a specific engine for this game that allowed like you were saying, Brandon, the realistic textures. They use photogrammetry for this engine. There's new anti-aliasing technologies. This engine allows for way enhanced VR. So they created this entire engine with this game in mind. And now they use this engine pretty much in all of their upcoming games now. So like it's using Devil May Cry 5, obviously the newest Resident Evil games. Go ahead.
Well, can I say that this game is beautiful in a weird way with the music and like it's just stunning to look at, even though it's scary as hell. I mean, throughout the whole game, I was just like pausing the screen because I'm a wimp, but I'm watching this guy's screen and I'm pausing it and I'm just looking in the room. I'm like, I'm in this room for like 3 seconds. But man, there's a lot of detail. The bookshelves and all the stuff that's decayed and the artwork and it's just insane that people made this. It exists. This is a long game. I mean, it's not long, but it's long for all the stuff that's compacted into it.
It's a decent amount of game.
I'm just blown away. Yeah.
I have one word.
So I don't know. I just got to give them props.
I have one word that comes to mind when I think of like the visuals of this game, and that is moist. Like there's a lot of like wet textures and like slime and stuff, like a shiny sheen on the walls. Like all the molded stuff is all like shiny, and then you get the sound design as well, like the squelching like noises and everything as you walk by, like the molded like stuff on the walls, all that good stuff. So I mean that it adds to the atmosphere, like you're saying, Brandon, like it's all the realistic textures and everything just make it that much more scary.
The stuff that's not wet is like dirty and dusty and like a haunted house, super creepy kind of way too. But is this, correct me if I'm wrong, the first Resident Evil that went first person?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. Because that, I think, increases the anxiety and all that stuff because you are the person. You're not using this third person behind the shoulder stuff where you're looking over Chris's shoulder and you can, swing the camera around corners and stuff like that to kind of like cheat and see what's coming for you. That makes you, It puts you more way in, like you are the one that is being hunted. And part of the reason I think, they use a lot of different horror tropes. Like you have like the creepy dolls, or you have, the gore stuff, or stuff from like, 7 and, what am I thinking about? Saw, that kind of stuff. But the one thing they do is they put a lot of stuff right up in your face too, which like people popping out around corners and jumping into your face scares the piss out of you sometimes. And that just is no joke. Like in the beginning where you first meet your wife and she's like all nice, and then you can see she changes and tries to murder you and forcing you to basically kill her.
She just cuts off your hand. That's normal. You're just mad.
Yeah, no big deal.
Like that's in like the first like 30 minutes of the game. And,
yes.
Well, I kept saying that for the rest of the game, they just staple it back on and your hand works again for the rest of the game. Yep. You're like, oh, okay. Well, just put some staples in it. You'll be fine. For you.
Just pour some of that magic healing liquid on it, and you're good.
Yeah. The hand sanitizer is like the healing maneuver over everything, and I'm like, that's got a sting on those cuts.
I love how it's
arm.
I love how it's always on your arm too. Like the only place you dump the first aid is on like your arm, hand, wrist area. Like, oh, this is the only place that's injured. I just need to dump it right here, and we're all good.
That's a little Purell.
Well, Dave, that reminds me of some of the things that threw me off a little bit. I guess the complaint here is if you had to go in some of these rooms, if you saw some of the things that Ethan is seeing, you would be like screaming the whole time. You'd probably have a heart attack.
Yes, Brandon. I was going to bring this up.
And he's just like, "Whoa, what is this shit? Oh, that's weird." It's like, wait a minute.
Ethan Winters is the most like nothing video game protagonist ever. Like he literally puts an axe in his wife's neck and he doesn't say one word after it.
Right, it's like fucking.
Is he like
like you do?
He's not an officer. He's not a police officer,
he's
or he's not a STARS agent. He's just a dude, right?
Yes.
Yep, just a normal dude.
His wife is the one that was a special agent.
Right.
Yes.
Well,
right.
Actually, can we?
Which I thought was a weird twist later on, but
yeah, can we get into that? Because, like, come on, right? We're gonna obviously it's Resident Evil, and even though it's picking on the story a little bit, I feel like the pacing of the story was actually kind of fine. I wasn't too confused. I liked how they unraveled what Mia was really up to. I didn't mind that. I thought that was actually kind of cool. And I liked at the end you have sympathy for the Bakers, knowing that how fucking scary they were in the beginning. But I mean, it's a weird story.
Well, except for one of them.
Yeah,
Lucas wasn't the virus. He's just an asshole.
Oh yeah, there's Lucas as well. Yeah, he was just a psychopath.
Yes.
So
he got his arm cut off earlier in the game, and that grew back. So he had to have something going on.
My understanding is that Evie, and anybody correct me if I'm wrong, but Evelyn, she basically took over everybody, and the parents gave in easier, but the two kids were able to mentally grow back their consciousness to the point where Zoe was not affected too much, but Lucas was a psychopath underneath it all, and he was actually kind of a bad guy anyways, with kind of bumping in with the law. So he kind of was still infected, so he could grow things back. Like, that's just the symptoms. But
he was taking advantage of the situation.
Yeah,
right.
He was working with her, where the rest were kind of coerced into it.
Correct.
I don't think he was. I think he was just, hey, I get to be killer and kill people and be crazy? You got it. Give me powers.
Right.
That's kind of how it went with him.
It reminded me a little bit of Bioshock a little bit, where like one by one I would meet these last surviving, these people that kind of I got to get through while I explore, like, what the fuck happened here kind of thing. I didn't mind the characters, but I think the dad, Jack Baker, is the scariest. Because he just keeps coming fucking back to life.
He comes back like 3-4 times. He does not want to die.
No.
Yeah, the first time I played that game, I'm like in the garage scene where you kill him with the car and whatever, the explosion and everything. I'm like, okay, that's over. Thank God. I won't have to deal with him anymore. And then you get to the basement and he's just in the dissection room there. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he here again? And like, then you kill him again. You literally chop him in half with a chainsaw. And you're like, okay, now he's dead, right? Now he's dead. And then he just fucking comes back again.
I know.
Like,
and I like how he keeps telling him, like, stay dead, will you? But, yeah, surprise, Jack comes back in the DLC one last time from what I saw.
That was Jack? I thought that was Lucas. DLC. I could be wrong. It's been a while, but I did play it once.
In the DLC, basically spoilers. So everybody dies except Lucas and the son, Lucas, Zoe, the daughter of the Bakers, and then the main characters actually, Ethan and Mia survive.
Depending on
canon.
Zoe dies depending on which ending you get. Right, exactly.
That was a fucked up choice, though.
It's just stupid. Yeah.
I didn't think that was even that bad. Like, why wouldn't you choose your wife? Like, why would you choose this random? Yeah,
exactly.
Hold that against her.
So I definitely chose Mia the first time I played through it, and I chose her again in my second playthrough, like not remembering that I chose her the first time, and then I'm like, oh wait. I really want to know what happens if you choose Zoe. So I just like looked up a video, and it's the dumbest ending. Like they just go off on the boat, and then Evie kills Zoe, and then that's kind of the end of her. So
and then I think your wife dies at the end of that.
You end up killing Mia
version too.
You end up sticking a crowbar through Mia's chest, and then she's not there with you at the end when you get rescued by Chris in the helicopter.
Yeah, which is like the worst. Like there's nothing good that came out of that ending. Like everybody's dead, your wife's dead. All right, you can go back to your regular life now. So, definitely choose Mia.
Yeah, Mia's made a lot more quote unquote good ending.
Okay, I didn't bother.
I guess if there is a good ending.
Yeah, exactly.
So when it comes to the main villain, there's a couple of things that I did like. So even though it's a cliche, especially now with Resident Evil, with the little girl and all that stuff, but as a villain, I thought she was okay. What I did like, so there's a moment in the game, in probably the first third of the game, when you're in the first house, because it's a big estate. For some reason, these backwoods people have a lot of property, but in their first house, they have this part where they capture Ethan, and they're sitting down at a table, and he wakes up, and it's just like a scene out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? And this is just basically like the wet, gooey version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's the father, Jack. There's his wife, and then they have their 2 kids, and their kids are like, you know, Ethan and Mia's age. They're like 20s or 30s or something like that. You can't really tell in the game, but they're younger. And an old lady there. You think it's like everybody's grandma, right? And all she does is sit in this wheelchair, and it's creepy as fuck. She rolls her head very slowly, just watching you walk around.
She follows you.
And it's crazy because if Jack's walking around with an axe, busting through walls and like taunting you, she'll be sitting there looking at you. And you'll encounter her through the game in all these different areas. She'll just be sitting there. You never see her move, but she'll just be in a hallway humming, you know, and just looking at you, and then she'll disappear. Well, it turns out later on, when you finally face the little girl, Evelyn. Am I saying it right, Evelyn? Is it Evelyn? Yeah.
Yeah, Evelyn, Evie. Whatever.
When you put the serum in her neck to take her out, it's revealed that the old woman the whole time is her, and the young girl is not her. It's an aspiration. She's so powerful that she can make hallucinations of her things in general. And the whole time when you go by her, the old lady, that was the real her. And it turns out that if a human is infected with this E virus, I think it's E virus, they
Series E.
Yeah, Series E, they age 25 times faster. Yeah, and so she's actually old as fuck, and she's behind everything, and you don't know what's real and what's not, but she infected everybody. And all she wants is, she's this evil creature that wants a mommy and a daddy. And Mia was transporting her from one place to another. And for some reason, I forget why, really. It seemed like a bad idea. But they escort her out on a secret mission. She ends up taking over the ship. She's just out of control. And like I said, hilarity ensues. But she wants Ethan to be her daddy and Mia to be her mommy. And Ethan's not having anything of it. Mia is in and out of her control, Evie's control. So I mean, I like this villain. A little predictable, but I did like how, by the way, that old lady the whole time was her. I didn't see that coming. I thought that was a good freak out. I don't know how you guys felt about her as a villain. Yeah. Yeah, Mike. I mean, what did you think? You didn't like the second half. Was that because there was more of Evie getting into being the villain and less of like Jack?
I like the second half.
Or what was it about this?
I'm a big fan of it because it goes from being very much of a survival horror type game where you're running around through a mansion, you're sneaking around, you're trying to find items, to where here's a submachine gun, or here's a pistol, here's a bunch of ammo, just go shoot all the mold men that are coming after you and play the game like a first-person shooter. I was very happy when the game switches. A lot of people don't like that.
Okay.
So I can see why you might like that. And like I do like that aspect of it. The only thing I had a problem with is the ending felt rushed to me. The story and specifically the level design, like the boat sequence was okay. Like I didn't mind the boat sequence. Like it's creepy as hell, just walking through those wrecked ship corridors, all that stuff. Well, and the flashback is cool when you get Mia's perspective of when she was initially on the ship.
It's such a change. I think that's the biggest problem.
Yeah,
is that it jumps and you're not expecting it, and it feels like a different game almost.
Yeah, like the mansion, like you said, it was purely survival horror. Like it goes back to the Resident Evil roots, literally in like a mansion. And you know, you have limited resources, like you said, all this stuff. You basically just have a pistol, you get a shotgun. I mean, later you get like a grenade launcher and a fucking flamethrower, but initially you're just starting out with a knife and like a pistol. And it feels like that classic Resident Evil survival horror, limited resources, all that stuff. And then, yeah, like you said, it kind of opens up and you get a submachine gun and you're just kind of blowing these molded guys away. So yeah, the ship I thought was interesting. The salt mines, not as much. Like, I don't know. I just thought the level design in that was kind of lazy. Like, you're just going through these corridors, just shooting mold men, and that's about it.
I agree.
There's not much.
I love it.
It's fun. I'm not saying it's not fun. It's just not like I don't know.
I mean, you wanted a horror
Right.
game, and I hate horror games, so I was happy when the horror game becomes a shooter. So, but that's a me thing. I don't like I was scared of Animusha.
No, I'm with you.
The first part, like, you're so defenseless, and I think that's where a lot of the horror part comes in, where like you have a knife or whatever, and you literally have to hide. You have no other way of defending yourself. So once you start to get a little suited up, it does. Like, you can defend yourself against, somebody coming at you or whatever. But just a quick note on Eve being old before we get too far. There are notes in the laboratory where they do mention, like, hey, she started to grow gray hair or something like that, like, before you get too far down the road. Like, I think that it had to have been in the beginning of the salt mine. There are a couple hints that she's the old one. I tried shooting her in the face multiple times every time I saw her. And they do the thing where, like, you can't target her, their gun goes away or whatever. I had a feeling that she was going to be somewhere in there, but I don't know. Just the way that the house is segregated into sections. So, like, the main house is Jack's section, and then the back outhouse is the mom's section, and then the over in the I forget what area. It is, the greenhouse, or whatever, is the barn. Lucas. The barn is where the brother is. Yeah, so. It's kind of felt, like, I don't know, sectioned off like that, which was kind of cool.
Well, we've mentioned it before.
Like the first game.
We've mentioned it before.
Yeah.
Where, like, that's what I loved about the mansion, is the mansion itself is like a character in the game. Like, we've mentioned it before with, like, the thing. Like, it's just like a small confined area that you get to know, like, really, really well exploring it. Like, at a certain point, you don't even need the map anymore because you know where all the rooms are, you know where everything is. You're just going around, you're like, okay, I got this crow key, I know exactly where to use that. I got the snake key, I know exactly where to use that. I got these dog heads, I know that they go in this door, and that's how I get outside. Like, you become so familiar with this area,
which feels like Resident Evil to me.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like I said, once you get to kind of like the back half, the boat and the salt mines, you lose that. Like, you don't really get that as much. A little bit with the boat, because you are going up and down floors, and you have to, like, you get the captain's key to unlock the locker to get the submachine gun, and you got to get the wires and the fuses to get the elevator to work again. So there is some of that. The salt mines, like I said before, I think it's the weakest part of the game, and like the ending overall I didn't think was great. Like, that last quote unquote boss fight, I mean, it wasn't even really a boss fight. Like, you're just kind of shooting this stupid looking old lady head tentacle monster that's coming at you.
Like, isn't that how all Resident Evil games end, though? It's like a giant mutated mass with a face on it. That's the only way you can tell what it is, and you just shoot it in the face. That's like literally like the thing that the walkthrough said the most is just, like, shoot it in the face, like, just over and over again. Seems to be the way to go.
The thing with Resident Evil bosses is you always shoot the giant glowing eyes on the enemies. That's where you know the weak points are. But that's just whatever. That's a Resident Evil thing. That's a video game thing.
I thought the boss fights were scary as fuck. Like Jack the dad. Dude, that when he comes back,
the boss fight in the garage.
Yeah, that scared the shit out of me.
One of the best boss fights ever.
It's so confined.
Yeah, like that cop. When that cop shows up, he's like,
exactly. Like, you're like, oh shit, a cop. He's gonna come.
He shows up by himself too. Like, come on, guy.
Yeah, he ain't going.
Where were the other cops? You have a dead cop, and they're like. Hours later, you don't notice that this guy hasn't reported in. Like, where are the cops? Why did that guy go by himself? I don't know. I was hoping everyone else more NPCs would show up.
Knew what was going on. Everyone else probably knew what was going on. They're like, yeah, just send this guy out. He'll be fine.
It was Louisiana, so, never know,
yeah,
I guess.
Exactly. You're like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah. So we talked about the mansion. We talked about the level design. We talked about the main protagonist. We talked about the antagonist. Talked about VR a little bit, but I've heard that that's basically bonkers. Like, if you try to do it, it's super scary. But overall, like, where does 7 lay in the franchise? Because there's movies, there's the games. I've played the first 2. I never beat the second one, but I did beat the first one. I watched the first movie. And I've played 4, didn't finish it, got really far. I beat 5, and I beat. 6 was like so big. 6 was like so many chapters. I feel like I got through almost all of them, but I didn't do like the last, I don't know, part or something like that. And I was just, and 6 seems like it's interesting, right? Because Resident Evil 1 is like one of the early hits on the PlayStation. And at that time, it was groundbreaking. Even though we knew the acting was bad, the voice acting is atrocious, there was some magic there. And then 2 comes out and it delivers, and 3 comes out and it delivers, and then 4 comes out. It creates basically a whole new genre with the whole camera over the shoulder.
Changes up the formula.
And it changes up the formula, but in a way where it's like a refreshment. And it was like, people look back at 4, even though it doesn't have really, it's not like 1 at all. With the villagers and stuff like that, with that infection. And it's kind of weird. 5 is also weird, but it's like 4, but co-op, and it's in Africa. But 6 was like, I don't know, like big summer budget action flick.
It was just,
it lost its way.
It's
like
the shooter.
I didn't mind playing it. It was
shooter,
fun.
Like,
but I had concerns that Resident Evil was kind of on its last legs because the movies weren't doing well. 6 was kind of like, is this where we're at with the game? And then 7 comes out, and it's like Dave was like, "Is this the first one that went first person shooter?" Like, yeah. And holy shit, it like really brought horror back more than ever before. And I don't know now that 8's out, it's kind of like that. How do you guys feel about this?
I got a question for you, Brandon. Have you ever played the remake of Resident Evil 2?
Oh my god!
No,
so
because 7 was so scary that I feel like now with 2 and 3 remakes that it's just I can't play them anymore because the
2
so
is worse when it comes to scary. I played 2. I couldn't fucking sleep for like a few. I didn't want to sleep. I was so scared.
It's always on sale for like $10 or $15, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy it.
It's a good game.
I love that game so much.
I also cheated when I played that game. I bought the unlimited SMG,
dude,
and I started with it, and that's the way to play that game for chicken shit.
So I beat it originally, the remake, 2 remake, like just normal, whatever. I played it through normal, and then on my second playthrough, I played as Claire the first time, and then Leon, and then I got like the unlimited, all the ammo and stuff, and it turns it into like a fun game, like you're just blowing zombies away, the police station, and everything. But yeah, like it is terrifying, like it is, but it's a fantastic game. Like,
what is your cat's favorite game in the series there, Mike? I saw your cat show up.
Well, she doesn't like Star Wars because I have a Darth Maul little figure from Disney Infinity. She grabbed it with both her paws recently and threw them off the shelf.
Oh wow!
Star Wars, I know that.
Star Trek fan.
Prequel hater.
Yeah, like you were saying, Brandon.
She's a little shit.
I feel like Resident Evil is kind of running like the same pattern. Like you said, you had 1 through 3, and by 3, that formula is kind of getting tired. So they change it up completely, swap it to like over the shoulder, more action oriented, and that completely works with Resident Evil 4. And then they continue that same formula for 5 and 6. And then by 6, it's kind of getting tired. So they reinvent it again, swap it to first person, go back to its survival horror roots, and it works. Like,
and this is the same team that did 6, right? Is that what you guys said? Which is crazy.
Well,
because
crazy.
Well, the director did the Resident Evil Revelations series. I read today actually, but
those are good.
Those are actually really good. I played the first one. I haven't played the second one yet. But
me either.
Yeah. And then like you said, you mentioned 8, Brandon, just came out. They're sticking with the same formula as 7, and like it works, but it feels like people were more lukewarm on it than 7. Because it is. I mean, it seems I haven't played it yet. But just from what I've heard, it's getting more into like the ridiculous side of Resident Evil, more action oriented, all that stuff. I don't have Mike. Have you played Village yet?
No, I haven't gotten around to it yet. It's on my list of someday.
Okay, so
Dave, you gonna play that one?
Absolutely. I heard it wasn't as bad as this one because I think people more were expecting it to be closer to 7, but 7 was such a drastic shift from where 6 ended that. Like, I don't know. It's hard to even compare them. Like, they don't even seem like they're the same franchise when you put them down next to each other. It's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. I will say, just to bring something up, just something super specific, the basement in the mansion is one of the most anxiety inducing like things to me like ever in a video game, or like honestly not even just video games, like any media at all. Like just the basement of that mansion, just looking down the stairwell, you can see like the doorway with the light shining on it, and it's just complete pitch blackness behind it. Like I do not want to go down there at all because I know what's down there. And like it's terrifying. Like
after my basement's one of those old stone basements too, so it kind of looks kind of Blair Witchy, kind of like this basement. It's not, I don't have random tractors and dead stuff down there, but it gives me that same feeling. But even after finishing up a session of this, and I mean, I gotta, at night go turn off all the lights in the house or whatever, and I, pull out my phone and I put the flashlight on. And immediately, as soon as I turned the flashlight on in the pitch blackness of my own house, I was like, "Oh fuck! Like this was a bad decision. Like I shouldn't have been doing this." Well, because it has that same effect where like you can only see exactly what you're looking at, and they captured that so well in this one. Where like that freaked me the fuck out just using my cell phone flashlight in the dark in my own house. Like I did not want to be there at all.
Well, you go down to the basement the first time, and then you're like, okay, this sucks, and then you get out, and then you realize you have to go down there again to get one of the dog heads to unlock the door to get outside, and you're like, fuck, I don't want to go back down there again. I thought I was done with that area. And then that's when you go back down there and have to fight Jack for the second time with the chainsaws and everything. That's pretty intense. But that basement. Fuck that basement.
So, all right, this game is really scary, but it is a video game. Who is this game for? Like, if somebody's listening to this right now and like, I like scary movies, and I remember playing Resident Evil back in the day. I missed this one when it came out, but I do like first-person games. Sure, like, how do you sell this game? You really have to enjoy being afraid, and you gotta really enjoy slow-paced high tension, high anxiety games. But I don't know, it's hard to just tell people like, hey, you should check this game out. I personally couldn't even get into it, and I've played Resident Evil games. My brother loves this game, and I just could not. It's not for me, man. I'm gonna delete it, and I'll just watch the DLC, like walk through of the next two DLC or whatever they came out for the game, and that's it. But like, how do you tell people to play this game? It's so fucking scary, but it is also beautiful. Well, it's like the master of the genre. It really is atmospheric. It's something to behold. You should try it out. I mean, there's a demo, right? I played the hour demo that they have of that film crew that went to the house. That gives you good taste. Good. Yeah, which is kind of cool, but I don't know.
Some of those VCR scenes are almost, I don't know. You have a certain feeling of invincibility when you're the main character, because like they're not going to kill me or whatever, because it's my story or whatever. But when you put tapes in VCRs and you basically turn into those people and you play like a segment of first person story as them. Yeah. And just these guys are like ghost hunters going into the creepy house to go get some YouTube video likes and stuff like that. And obviously hilarity ensues. They all fucking die horrible.
Recurring theme, yeah.
But like the thing that you don't have that sense of security or whatever when you're playing through some of the VCR sections on there. It's just that's a whole new world right there.
Yeah, I feel like they took me out of it a little bit, not in a bad way, but just kind of like, oh, all right, it's now like Saw, and some psychopath is on camera and playing games with me.
They do a really smart thing with the VCR tapes. So like one of the first ones you get is you get the one with the film crew or whatever that goes in, but the one with Mia in the old house with Marguerite, it shows you how to solve those puzzles before you actually get there. And True. They do it with that and the old house, and they do it with the testing area too with Lucas. Like you have to go through the whole happy birthday videotape on how to solve the puzzle. Oh, yeah. And then once you actually get there as Ethan, it kind of subverts your expectations because you know, like, okay, if I do it the same exact way I did it in the videotape, I'm going to die and I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
So I have to...
I did like that.
So you're like, okay, I know what the password is to the lock from doing the videotape. So I just go straight to the lock, unlock it, and then Lucas gets all pissed off. He's like, fuck, how did you do that? And like that was really good. They used the videotapes in a smart way in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it just seemed a little off, like a little different, but I like that one. With all the balloons and the cake and I thought that was pretty neat. But sometimes it feels like a trope. It's like, let's go back in time and see how it all happened, and I don't know. It is what it is. But again, like video games have this happen. But overall, I think again looking at 6, and then like play an hour or two of Resident Evil 6, and then play an hour or two of 7, and tell me you're not impressed that the same team, the same franchise can do this. And is the story conclusive? Does it make sense? Fuck no. Come on. I mean, it's Resident Evil. I mean, I don't know what's going on here, but it's weird. There's viruses. They have letters attached to them. Things happen. Hilarity ensues. But my God, it is definitely something to experience in gaming, you know? Like, it's just crazy that can happen.
I disagree with you. The whole story does connect in one way or another, but I have spent a lot of time.
Can you explain that? Because I've missed. Okay. Yeah, sum it up real quick. Like, how does 7 fit into the grand scheme? Because I did see Blue Umbrella 7 at the end there with
is another
Redfield.
Since Umbrella has fallen apart since Resident Evil 2 and the other Resident Evil games, Wesker's gone. Other companies have started up. Mia is a biological weapon that a different company had made. Not Mia, Evie, whatever her name is. Mia's working for another company. Umbrella Blue, the one that you see now, is they pretty much took the company and they changed it to be what Chris had been doing since Resident Evil 1, where he kind of had joined a Biohazard group, and they took Umbrella and made it their own. Pretty much used their resource that they had to create this group to help clean up their mess. So it's showing that other companies are doing what Umbrella was doing, but they all kind of connect in their own way. I know way too much about Resident Evil, but I love the series. Big fan. They all do connect. They all fit together one way or another.
What was the virus in the first couple games?
Was it the G-virus in the first game, G-virus in the second game. Third game is also both, because the T and the G-virus are both at the same time. Because the G-virus was made by Birkin under Raccoon City. The T-virus was made by other people, which is at the mansion and also at Raccoon City. And there's the Kotoranica virus, which is made by someone else. Pretty much the T-virus is everywhere because that's what makes the regular zombies and makes the hunters and a lot of the mutations. With the G-virus is what makes you like Birkin, where he's this giant monster, but he's still kind of like he knows that Sherry's his daughter. It's a different virus that mutates you differently.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool how they
Okay.
There's also
this
leeches
is the E-virus
that mutate you. Then there's also the Ouroboros in Resident Evil 5 that are a different type of mutation where they can control, where they go inside the person, but someone else that has the right, something can control them. Or Resident Evil 4, they're also parasites called Las Plagas that are controlled by a staff. Yeah, they all different things, but yes.
It's all...
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool how they invented the mold virus. Yeah, that was impressive, Mike. I like it.
Well, it gives them an excuse to have different enemy types in each game, you know, because you have the regular zombies, and then you have like the molded, and like you said, the big the hulking monsters and everything. So, but yeah, Resident Evil lore is a rabbit hole.
Yes, it is.
Well, yeah, but so the little girl, because I knew they had the version before E. I think it might have been D. Trying to remember the letter, but to get the serum to kill or to heal either the girls at the end, to also take out Jack and to kill Eve.
Yeah, you needed the D series head and arm or something.
The D series, yeah, but they were from like newborns or something like that. So was Evie once a child that they found that they just infected, and did she turn into this?
Don't know. My 7 isn't as good as a lot of the other ones.
okay, because I know that she likes to use the form of a child, like the creature likes to use the form of a child to draw the empathy out of a human being, which is why Alan and Mia, who are bad people technically, because they do work for this corrupt corporation that's trying to make this biohazard weapon. She's not a good person, Mia.
No,
and her and Alan are agents, and she tells Ethan, I just have a job that I just got to go off on these these business trips, but really she's just on an operation. But for some reason, I think they either want to terminate her and they feel bad because they've got attracted to the child. They feel bad, so they want to save it. But it's really just a monster just using.
Yeah, that part gets a little.
But it wants
fuzzy.
a mommy and a daddy, and because it was under control. Because she says, "Oh, she's puking more than ever before," to the point where like it's more than even her body, and that's in the ship. She ends up taking over and infecting, and then she blows up the ship or something happens, and then me and her land in New Orleans, and then the Baker family take them in, and they just try to take care of them, and instantly she takes over. Evie takes over the family.
Don't remember all the details, but something happened that makes it so that way she's able to break free. I don't remember what it was. Something happened. There was something.
I'm sure that it's not clear in the game. No. I'm pretty sure, like you got to bust up the old Wikipedia to kind of get into some of this stuff.
That's how I play these
games. Yeah. But okay, so overall though, like, did you, Mike, as a fan of the series, how do you look at 7? Not even the gameplay, just like the story, like, did it add anything to the world? Do you like?
It's just a continuation of the story where it wrapped up a lot of the old characters in a sense, because 5 is the end of Wesker and his story from Resident Evil 1 and on, who they're off and on. 6 is just kind of continuation with Chris and all them, but it kind of puts them away for a little bit in a way. And 7 is kind of where they were rebooting the series, a soft reboot in a sense. I mean, you have Chris, yes, but he doesn't look anything like he did in 6 different. Or 5. He's not punching boulders.
Or 8. He completely changed design in Village too.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah, it is interesting. Before we get too far, I wanted to mention the VR stuff, too. I did dip my toes into it a little bit. I mentioned it before, but, I tried really hard. I'm like, okay, maybe for my playthrough of this, I'll do it in VR. So I put the PSVR headset on. I booted it up. I went through the intro area where you're just walking through the woods, and I'm like, okay, this is fine. This isn't bad. But with headphones on, you have the audio all around you. So even with the PSVR, it's not the highest quality headset, but it feels like you're really there. It's so intense. And then as soon as I step foot into the guest house, the Baker house, I was like, fuck this, man. I walked through the kitchen a little bit, up to where you get to you can see up to the attic stairs and down the hall, and I'm like, I started hearing all these creaking noises, and I'm like, nope, fuck this. Took it off. I'm like, I can't do it. I'll just play it the regular way.
I was walking around and I kept stopping, who's walking? And I was walking. No. Who's fucking walking? It's my fucking footsteps.
They fuck with
you. Sound design is fantastic.
Yeah,
they put all these creaks and clanks and footstep sound and things, and those are just part of the ambient sounds. Those aren't actual people walking around, but they trick you. They make you think oh shit, something's over here.
Well, yeah. Not only that, Jack Baker is constantly just slowly walking through the house, and you just hear him over here. Now he's over here. Where do I go? But they have these jump scares where they kind of take over the. I couldn't imagine. I can look away on my TV. I can close my eyes. I can look down. I can look away. But with the VR set, the Mia and Marguerite, they straight up grab the camera and get in your face, and there's nowhere else to look. I couldn't imagine the first time ever playing this game and just playing with a VR set and doing some of those levels, and that shit happens. I have a heart attack.
Yeah, I think that's just terrifying. One I have to chalk up to nah, I don't think I can do that one. I thought maybe it would be easier after I just played it. If I jumped into it now, maybe I could do it because I know what to expect, but I still don't think it would be I I want do it.
I want I want them to come out with a co-op version of this game so I can have a buddy.
We were playing that, Brandon.
Resident Evil 5.
We were playing that.
Right. Yeah, like 5. Yeah. 5 and 6 had co-op, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I did watch Dave, and I was like chatting with him, but there was a little delay from the Twitch. I don't know. It's kind of throwing me off a little bit, but that was nice. I know, having a buddy there.
Even playing next to my wife with the walkthrough out, like, still things, because one of the things,
still scary.
I mean, touching on the sound design, like the creaks and the moans, and like things will knock on the window or something, like when your back is turned to them and you don't know what the hell's going on. But the one thing they do great in this one too, which I think they've done in the Resident Evil 2 remake, I want to say. Like some of those key moments in the old games where like the dogs jump through the window or something like that, where you know it's coming, but like in the remake, they switched it around so it's not the first time you walk down the hallway.
Still scary.
It happens
the second time.
Right? So like you get like a sense of relief or something like that. So I had that in the house where like I've walked past, the room to the back of the kitchen like multiple times. I've been past that hall. I've been up and down this hallway 5 or 6 or 7 times. And then all of a sudden the 8th time, fucking Jack comes bashing through the wall. It scared the shit out of I jumped out of my chair. Like that one scared me so bad. There was a couple of those moments in there, like when you go to like, and it's weird because in the game like you push your way through doors, so it's not like you can like press a button, the door swings open, and you can like peek around the corners into the room. You have to like walk through the door, where like you kind of like open the door as you're going through it.
You can press, well, on PlayStation it's X, I assume on Xbox it's A. You can press the button to like put like open the actual door.
Oh, that would have helped.
So it has both mechanics where you can open it, or you can like push it slightly open so you can see in the next room to see if like Jack's in there.
Oh my god.
So you don't fully open it so you don't alert Jack.
There was one time in like the old back house or whatever where like you're coming around, you're going back into the kitchen. I've been in here 5 times. You go to open the door and the mom pops her head out and goes, "Stay the fuck out of here! Stay the fuck out!" And I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
That scared the piss. I'm getting chills just thinking about it now. It's fucking the way that they subvert expectations and they lure you into a sense of safety, and then they use that against you as like their own weapon, where they know when you're not expecting things and it bites you in the ass. It's great. It's a great movie or game. But this is also before we wrap up, I want to say this is a great example of why video games at times are a better medium than film, and a better medium in general, because of the interactivity in this game scares the piss out of you. And it puts you in the character's seat. Like Brandon, you're saying, like you can just look away from the movie and the movie keeps going or whatever. But this, you look away and like you still got to walk down that fucking hallway. You still got to open up these doors, and it puts you in the seat rather than you being a passive observer. Like you are an active observer in all of this horrible, horrible shit. Which, I mean, like I'll put this game up against any scary movie.
Well, yeah, because the main character is not going to die in the first 10, 15 minutes of the movie, typically. That they're at least going to be around for the next 2 hours or whatever. But in the game, I could fucking die the first time I see a monster. I could fucking die. It's scary. Like, I can die. It'll be over, and I got to do it. And not only that, I can't continue. I have to get through the thing that killed me, that scared me. I have to do it. I have to do it again and again. It's just like, So when it comes to horror, man, games definitely beat movies for sure. I want to be respectful of Mike's time.
Before we wrap up,
but yeah, yes, go ahead.
Before we wrap up, I just really wanted to mention really quick the DLC. So I didn't play any of the story based stuff, which I plan on.
You should.
I plan on playing that stuff. I mean, they're super short. I looked up, they're like hour and a half each. So I definitely want to play those. But I did check out like the mini game type things that they had in there as well. So they had like there's one called Ethan Must Die, which is straight up a roguelike they put into Resident Evil 7. Like it's super difficult. You get randomized weapons and loot drops, and item drops and all this stuff. And
that's
like
crazy.
I dipped into it for a second and it's like super fucking hard. So I thought that was cool that they incorporated that mode into the game. And then there's another mode called Jack's 55th Birthday, which was actually really fun. So basically, it's Jack's birthday, and he's sitting at a table, and you have to find food like all around the house and bring this food back to him and feed him. Like you fill up this, it's very arcadey. Like you fill up this meter until Jack is satisfied, and then once he's satisfied, you're trying to get the best time possible. So it's really fun. And like when you like kill there's like the molded monsters walking around, you kill the molded monsters, you get like additional time on the clock. So there's like a really fun arcadey mode. It's not scary, Brandon. So if you want to check that out, it's actually really fun.
No, I'm done. I'm good. I am good on Resident Evil 7 and anything else. If I am, I'll watch the movies. Watch the gameplays, but maybe I'll check that one out. Maybe.
It's really fun.
But I'm probably just going to not. So
the two DLCs, the Not a Hero and the other one,
End of Zoe.
End of Zoe.
Yeah, those are both very good.
I'm planning on checking.
I recommend
those out
both
for
of
sure.
those.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Well, all right. Well, I think we're at the end of the conversation on Resident Evil 7. So Mike, I know you have a hard out in like 20 minutes, but do you want
about 10?
In about 10 minutes? Okay, we're gonna go and do a closing act at the end of this episode. We won't ask you to do that because that could be like another 15-20 minutes. So, but
yeah,
I will let you have like a final goodbye to the episode and a good chance to plug anything that you got going on. So if there's anything that you want to plug right now, buddy, the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, one random thing that we said off air, but I want to say on air, is I almost podcasted with Eric a long time ago, 3 years ago, when I first. Oh, yeah, I would have been about 3 years at this point because it was like October, November when I first put my Facebook ad out in a Facebook group that we're part of called I Watched the Entire Overblood Super Replay, and he was like the fifth or sixth person to respond to me, but I took the first three because that's how you make a good podcast group. And
I could have been on a different podcast, guys.
So I was really happy 3 years later when I heard you started almost 3 years when you started a show. I was very happy. Like, yes, this guy did it now. It's always stayed with me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so my podcast is called Games My Mom Found. It's mostly a retro video game podcast, but we cover movies, comics. We went through all the MCU because I was an idiot. All 23 movies. We just finally finished recording the last one. Took us a year and a half. Yeah, don't do it.
That is
each one we break down
right there.
That is
scene by scene. It was great, but then we got to phase 3. We're like, oh shit, we still got 11 movies to go, and that's when it started to break us. But we finished it, and so yeah, so that's what we do. We just do a bunch of different things.
Are you going to keep going with new releases of MCU movies?
I want to, yes. It won't be the same people because one of the guys is just like, he's like, I did 23. I'm done.
I'm out of here.
I don't want to anymore.
I understand.
It's rough. It's the same 3 people too. We stuck it all the way through.
Nice.
So yeah, don't do that.
I mean, if that sounds interesting to you guys, like I highly, recommend you to check out Mike's show. I've listened to a couple episodes. I really liked your conversation on BioShock 2. That was the one I checked out. And then I'm working on your Mandalorian conversation. Yeah, and I like that you guys are geeks like us, and I use it as a compliment. And I like how casual your show is, and I think it's great. And it sounds like you've had a bunch of hosts and guests coming through, and I always think that adds a nice variety when it comes to the content of a show. So, and you've put a lot of episodes out, and I applaud you for your dedication to your own craft. And I just want to say thanks for making the time to show up on ours. We're a newer show. We're only at 26 episodes, but yeah, and I'm super grateful that you came on here and educated us a little bit on some Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil in general. But yeah, and you're welcome to be a guest on our show again. And again, it's Games My Mom Found. That's the name of the podcast. And where can people find you before we wrap up?
We are on just about every podcatcher that you have. It is Games My Mom Found, one word, but because I screwed up when I was naming it originally 3 years ago. But it is what it is now. So but you can find it if you Google it. You'll find us however you spell it. We're all over the place. I have put us in so many things. We're on Facebook, Twitter. We're on YouTube in only audio format. So you can anywhere you go, you will find us. I put us everywhere at this point.
Okay,
awesome,
great.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, thanks so much for being on the show.
Yeah,
We're going to let you go. And super pumped that you came on the show, and we look forward to our next visit. And maybe Eric, you can make a guest appearance on his show soon.
I'm going to.
Other than that,
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay. All right, Mike. Well, thanks for being on the show, buddy. We'll let you go, and then we'll hear from you next time.
All right, thank you, guys. You have a good day.
So,
see ya.
All right, see ya. Okay, we're back. We're a man down. Mike had to bounce, but that's okay. You're still here with me, Brandon, and Eric, and Dave, and we're going to play a game. So everybody, sit down, relax, or maybe just continue doing whatever you were doing. I'm sorry to interrupt. How dare I tell you what to do? We're going to play a game, and it is called Word. And this is a game that we made up where basically all we have to do, the host is going to say, okay, I'm doing a horrible job explaining this. Eric, how do we play this game?
Okay, David is going to host this game, and he's going to read a list of words one by one. I don't know are they all movies this time, Dave, or is that a secret?
Today they are all movies. We kept it. I didn't know if Mike was going to be playing or not, so I decided to keep them in that genre.
Okay, so they're all movies. He's going to read a list of words one by one. And if me or Brandon think we know it, we buzz in with our names, take a shot in the dark. And if we get it wrong, we're locked out till Dave reads the next word, and whoever gets the most points at the end wins.
Sounds easy.
Ta-da! All right. I have a list of movies. Are you gentlemen ready?
I'm ready.
Pens and papers. Everybody set. All right, we will start with our first movie of the night. The first word is university.
Eric.
Yes.
I don't have a guess. I just buzzed in. Wait, let me come up with something. American Pie.
No.
Okay.
Brayden.
Yes.
X-Men.
No. All right. On to the second. Those were both horrible guesses. May God have mercy on your souls.
But I didn't have a university in the first X-Men movie.
University. The second word is hotel. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
University and a hotel.
Yeah.
Covering
I'm good on the pass.
Locations.
I'll pass for now. You down to pass?
I don't know. I thought something just came to me.
Brain cramp. I can see Eric's brain seizing up.
I'll pass.
University, hotel, refrigerator.
Brandon.
I saw the light go on in Brandon's head right there. The little seizure right there.
Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skulls.
No.
What?
Nobody remembers anything from that one. That one's just a loss. That's lost to time. It's gone forever.
I don't know why I'm thinking Eric. I don't know why I'm thinking this. 7? I feel like we already did that, but
no.
7?
But I see where the refrigerator comes in there with the university and hotel. But that's a good guess. I like that, but wrong. All right. The next word. University, hotel. I'm going to change the order on these. Refrigerator and hearse.
Man, what movie has a hearse?
I'm glad I made this difficult. University, hotel, refrigerator, hearse.
I got Brandon.
Yes.
The Burbs.
No, that is a great movie though. That should be on the Halloween watch list. Classic Tom Hanks.
Refrigerator.
Lighthearted.
Hearse. I'm gonna pass.
You guys are gonna be kicking yourselves in your own asses after I tell you what this is.
Okay.
University, hotel, refrigerator, hearse, jail.
That's nothing.
Nothing? Both shaking their heads. Another location.
There's a lot of locations here.
I'm like, is this a horror game? Or I'm sorry, horror movie? Because we're in Halloween.
Is there a meta? Is there a theme? Is there a meta here?
Maybe. There might be. Or I may just be picking children's movies. I don't know.
Oh.
No, don't read into that, please. Just keep your mind fresh. Yes, Eric.
Road Trip. I don't fucking know.
No, it is not Road Trip. Tom Green, hamster. No. University, hotel, refrigerator, hearse, jail, parapsychology.
Oh no. Parapsychology.
That sounds like a bullshit title. Is that for like studying ghosts?
I don't know.
There was a yeah. What do you got, Eric?
Is it Ghostbusters?
It is Ghostbusters. Oh, there you go.
As soon as you said ghost, I was like, that fits, right?
It is the study of ghosts, Brandon. Congratulations. You get 0 points for that.
Thanks for handing to me that to me on a silver platter.
Other words were science, cello, and then slime was the giveaway, but they start out at the university. Right. The first place they go to is a hotel. Dana's refrigerator. The Ecto-1 is a reconfigured hearse.
Oh.
They go to jail. They are all parapsychologists. Eric with the first point. Good round. That was good. I like that. Okay. Clean your palate. Freshen up.
Get a
taste breaker in there.
Taste breaker.
Get a taste breaker. The next movie. First word. Mayor.
Brandon.
Yes.
Groundhog's Day.
No.
Eric.
Yes.
The Grinch.
Look at the shit-eating grin on your face over there. No, it is not the Grinch. Too early in the season for that. Not until after Thanksgiving are we allowed to make any Christmas references. First word, mayor. Second word, vampire.
I feel like this should be a giveaway.
The mayor of Vampireville. Yes, Brandon.
Nightmare Before Christmas?
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh.
Check out the big brain on Brandon.
So I was just in Disney, and I love the theme track, or the soundtrack to Nightmare Before Christmas. So I was listening to that. This is Halloween. Yeah, I love that music. And I instantly just thought of that when you said mayor, and I'm like, eh. So,
Where's the vampire in there?
There's a vampire in there.
There are vampires in the town. Other words were witch, scientist, and then Easter Bunny. Easter Bunny was the getting there at the end.
There's so many characters in the background. But
nice.
That's a good one.
Good. Okay. Working our way down. Maybe you guys are catching a theme coming along.
I don't know that.
Am I? Is it a Halloween-y theme?
The next movie. We're tied 1-1. Next movie. First word is tent.
What?
What was it?
Tent. T-E-N-T.
T-E-N-T.
Are you saying tent?
T-E-N-T.
Yeah.
Like you went. Right. Like you went camping.
Camping. Yeah. Okay.
Eric.
Anything? Sure.
Friday the 13th.
No, I like where your head's at, but not quite.
Brandon.
Yes.
Ernest Scared Stupid.
Oh, so close, but no. I saw the movie poster for that today, and I'm like, I forgot about Ernest. Ernest kind of disappeared, didn't he?
Oh, Jim Varney. Rip.
Yeah. All right. First word, tent. Second word, crying.
Brandon.
Yes.
The Sixth Sense.
No. Good guess.
Really? I thought that was it for sure.
Yeah.
Where there's a tent in Sixth Sense.
There's a girl crying because she was being poisoned by her. No, spoiler for an old movie, but yeah, there's a little girl. She's a dead ghost, and she hides in this little teepee tent like thing in the hallway in the house. Turns out she was being poisoned by her dad or something like that. So
that movie was creepy as shit.
But she would cry in that tent. Yeah.
I thought for sure you had it, Brandon.
I liked it. I like it. But that is not the name of the movie that I am referencing.
Tent and crying. Oh boy.
Doesn't mean that they're together.
National Lampoon's Vacation.
No, that is not allowed.
Damn it.
Yes. Tent, crying, student.
Student.
Brandon.
Yes, Brandon.
Stand By Me.
Great movie, but no. They are intense.
They're students and they do cry.
Yes, Eric.
It,
no. Also a good movie.
Okay.
Tent, crying, student, woods.
Well, I figured it'd be fucking woods with the tent.
Right.
God damn it, it helped me at all.
Where are they?
Still seems like Friday the 13th to me.
I know that. I picture this yellow tent too, specifically. This is a movie, huh?
This is a movie, yeah.
What movie's got tents and crying?
I would say
students. Crying students. Are the students crying?
I don't know.
Intense.
Intense?
It is. There are tents, and it is an intense movie.
Oh boy.
I'm good to pass because Woods didn't do shit for me.
Whatever. I'll just take a guess, free guess, and say Halloween.
No. Thank you for playing though. Hopefully this is a good one. Legend. Tent, crying, students, woods, legend.
Oh my god.
I'm going to have to find some more words now because I thought you guys would have it by now.
Oh man.
Some movie that takes place in the woods.
So just looking at what's the theme that he has here? Because Ghostbusters and
gotta be scary or Halloween themed scary movies.
But they're like family horror. Like those are family movies. Scary.
So I got it. Eric, Harry and the Hendersons.
I know, that's what I was thinking. That's
so
why I
close.
thought verbs. I'm like, okay, Brandon.
Yes.
E.T.
Brandon. No.
Oh.
Man.
Sorry. There's no crying in E.T. Well, there is some crying in E.T. All right.
Yeah, there's a lot of crying.
I'm crying.
I guess all these could apply to E.T. as well, but
this is all
right.
What are we on the third movie?
This is the third one. I made kind of tricky. All right, here's another one. Maybe this will help you. Tent, crying, students, woods, legend, sticks.
Sticks or dicks?
No dicks, just sticks.
I thought you said dicks too.
I thought it was dicks.
Dicks.
The Discord
I got it, Brandon.
Sounded like dicks.
No dicks.
What is it?
I got it, Brandon.
What is it?
It's the Blair Witch.
There you go. It is the Blair Witch Project.
I didn't even think of that.
There's a lot of crying in the Blair Witch. There's some tents. There's students in the woods.
You could have said booger.
I was like, basement was my next one. I was hoping basement would get you. All right.
Okay.
That was a deep cut. That one's not top of mind, but that is following along my theme.
So there's definitely a clear theme here.
Whereof, I guess you could say Halloweeny.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm noticing that.
Movie number 4. We'll start out with the first word. Vomiting.
Eric.
Yes.
The Exorcist.
No. There is some vomiting in that. No first shots.
I thought that was it for sure.
Shots in the dark.
Yeah, I'm picturing so many movies with vomiting, but I can't picture the movie itself. I can just picture like scenes. But now I can only get Exorcist in my head right now. All right.
Don't get too caught up in.
Pass.
Second word, German Shepherd.
That's not
vomiting?
one word.
Oh, sorry.
German Shepherd? German Shepherd?
Eric, I don't know. What's that movie? Cujo?
No.
That was
Another
Saint
Stephen.
Bernard.
Another
Saint Bernard. Okay.
Brandon. It was a vomiting German Shepherd.
Wait.
Third word.
Wait, Brandon.
Yes.
The Thing.
No.
Oh,
I like that. Oh, yeah. I don't know if that was a German Shepherd in that movie or not, but
I could remember.
I think that was a husky or something.
Oh, okay.
kill the fucking husky. Vomiting German Shepherd novelist.
Eric.
Yes.
I don't know if this is correct. Misery?
That's a good guess. I know. I don't remember there being.
That's a good guess, but no.
No. Yeah, the novelist was the only clue there that I thought it might be.
Yeah, fuck. I'll just go with Brandon, The Shining.
No. I'm gonna break it up here. Maybe don't focus so much on the horror. Focus more on like the time of year or
all right,
not specifically Halloween, but it's not. It doesn't have to be specifically horror.
Okay.
Well, Blair Witch came out in 1999. Ghostbusters was 89 or something like that, and
they don't all come out with years with nines, if that's what you're getting at.
All right. Okay.
I'm trying to think too hard about this, Brandon.
Yeah.
All right. Family is the next word. Vomiting, German Shepherd, novelist, family.
What is this movie?
I hope you guys have all seen it. I know Brandon's
I'm just getting confused, even more confused.
Good. I like to spin you guys into a tizzy.
Family. Sounds like Fast and Furious. It's all about family.
This is a scary movie too.
You sure this isn't Resident Evil 7?
You ready for the next one?
Hit me.
Vomiting, German Shepherd, novelist, family, Clue. This is not the movie Clue.
Are you sure it's not Clue?
There are clues in the movie.
Eric?
Yes.
Knives Out?
Very good, Eric.
Yes.
Knives Out.
There's a dog? I'm trying to remember the dog. Nice.
The dog that keeps barking at her when she was outside. There's some.
I don't remember the vomiting either.
She vomits because she can't lie.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yep. You're right. That's a great movie.
The main guy is the novel. That is a fantastic fucking movie. That's up there with Clue as far as like murder mystery kind of movie in my books.
That's a good one.
Good movie, yeah.
Very good.
Okay,
Tied
2-2.
2-2, baby.
2-2.
All right. Enough
Going
job
into
games, Eric. It's time to take you down.
Gotta get serious.
Our final entry tonight. This movie has a cat.
Eric.
Yes.
Hocus Pocus.
No, I don't watch anything with Bette Midler in it. Pass.
What? It's a classic. It's a Halloween classic. My wife would kill you. That's like her favorite movie.
That movie does have a pretty large cult following too.
Brandon.
Yes.
Alien.
It is Alien.
Oh, you fucker.
Wow, Brandon. Nice work.
So I'm assuming you were using, because like Jamie Lee Curtis was from Halloween. It's, I don't know, what was the theme there? Because like I'm like, all right, well then Sigourney Weaver, what was she in? Because she's like a horror woman.
It wasn't anything with actresses or anything. It's just kind of like Halloween kind of movies.
Okay,
that was a good one. Good pull.
I guess Knives Out isn't really off a cat too. Like that's impressive right there. I don't know.
What were the other words? Just
blood,
curious.
beacon, corporation, chest, slime, starship.
Man.
Okay.
I didn't want to get too like, I don't know. IMDb always has like the word cloud. It's like female protagonist and all sorts of stuff like that. But
good game, man.
Yeah, nice work, Brandon.
Brandon's going to space camp.
You are the big winner today.
Brandon's going to space camp. Make sure there's aliens.
I'm going back to Disney. Yay! No, it's the only vacation that I'm done with. Like it's like I liked it, I enjoyed it, but it's a lot. And when you're back,
you need a vacation from your vacation.
Oh
yeah, dude. It's just hustling. You're just
nice to get back
stuff.
into the normal swing of things after a long vacation like that.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, well, that was cool. Got to talk about a scary-ass game called Resident Evil 7. We had our friend Mike from GamesMyMomFound, which is all one word, if you caught that earlier. So that's Mike's show. He covers a lot of stuff, so check out his show there. What's going on for our next episode? Do we have that planned? Or no? I'm trying to remember. I just
the
got back
next
from
one,
vacation, out of schedule.
Not quite. We will be doing a Nightmare Before Christmas soon. Post Halloween,
possibly with another guest.
Yes. Yep. Okay. All right. I know we got some other things in the queue. So okay. Well, either way, Dune came out. I want to look at that. We might talk about that. There's a couple other movies that we've thrown around. We just did a game. Halloween's about to happen in like a couple days. So yeah, it's finally. I think we can chill out in the Halloween stuff. I feel like we just did like a horror-thon.
Like, really did for like the last
I want to do like
half
Pixar next or something.
I would love to do a Pixar episode.
You need a good taste breaker.
Came out, but like it's dark
with
too.
A good taste breaker. You always need a taste breaker.
Taste breaker, yeah.
Break it up.
Pixar is a good one or something like that. So we'll figure something out, and then we'll put it up on the social. Highly recommend people to make comments because we'll read them, we'll answer them, we'll get you involved in the conversation the best way we can. Other than that, I think we're out of here, right, guys?
Good for me.
Yes.
Unless you guys want to stay around. All right. Yeah, let's get out of here, and then let's figure out what the hell we're gonna do in the meantime. And if you do catch us on Twitch, go ahead and watch us jam out some games. See ya.
I found you! It's over. I see you. Where in the hell you think you're going to, son? got you.